Good morning and welcome to another episode of Changemakers and Champions. I'm your host, Jermaine Huser, Executive Director of Our Lady of Mercy Community Outreach Services. And today I'm excited that we have a guest who's brand new in our community. Miss Lauren Villavaso is with us. Understand straight out of Maryland, DC area?
Maryland, Baltimore.
Awesome. Well, welcome to our community. And thank you for taking an interest in Our Lady of Mercy. So what I wanted to talk to you about, Lauren, when you came to our organization to take a tour, which we appreciate you coming to take time out of your schedule to visit us. But what fascinated me was the story that you share with your children and the impact that you all have made, I believe, since 2017, when you started Mitch Bricks, which is about Legos, but you then went a step further and started Elliot's Art, and that is about helping pets remain with families that may be having or experiencing hardship. And then you have Sissy's Closet, which is a amazing clothing closet. And so can you share the why of why is this, what inspired you to get your children involved with strengthening communities at an early age?
Well, it all kind of started. I've always been involved with things. I was a kid that kind of felt less than and struggled in school quite a bit. But I always found finding good things in others and helping people just made me feel better and more of a purpose. I used to bring my oldest and his soccer team and some kids to volunteer for service projects for their club sports. We started going to a local family homeless shelter, and we were praying with the kids. It's such a beautiful thing to see nine-year-old boys praying with kids in the shelter. No one cared who they were,
Right.
where they were, what their circumstances. So seeing that and having that experience, kind of just opened up a lot of meaningful conversation with Mitch. He was 8 years old at the time. He was touched by it as well, but we had the conversation of time versus money.
Gotcha.
We kind of came to, a conclusion that giving his time, because he really wanted to help. He wanted to do something. He felt so, just empowered by the experience of serving others. So he was always a Lego fanatic. Still is.
That,
He's doing civil engineering, so he true to his
that makes
calling.
sense. Oh, absolutely.
So we started something as simple as we just started bringing Legos to kids at the shelter. So we one time, everyone loved it. The kids had an escape. They kind of forgot about where they were living, the traumatic lifestyles that they were possibly coming from. They were just having an opportunity to play and be creative. We lose sight of how expensive Legos are, or if you're in a shelter environment, you don't have storage to put your toys. So it was just something very, very simple, and it just broadened and it brought so much joy to these kids. And through that, we started to have our little volunteers come with us,
Yeah.
9-year-old boys. And then it just kind of organically grew into answering the call of the need that we would see surrounding us. There's a lot of hope in homeless shelters, which is kind of goes against what most people.
Great. Yeah.
You learn so much perseverance and promise. These families, especially the children,
Yeah.
they're a lot stronger than most adults. And I always say, if adults had the opportunity to sit in those rooms with the kids that are in the shelters and the
Yeah.
kids come to play with, they could learn a lot more. We're all
Change
more
a
a lot
lot.
alike than we.
So Elliot's Art and as well as Sissy's Closet, that all come about.
So we had Mitch Bricks, and we started that. We are a 501c3 organization. Elliot, saw what we were doing with Mitch Bricks. He was with us every day, all the time. We would go visit aftercares, the shelters. We branched out to quite a few shelters and aftercare organizations in kind of struggling neighborhoods. But Elliot is my animal lover. And he's always loved Noah's Ark. Like, that's just always been his story. And we really saw a need during COVID because up in Maryland, and we were locked down.
Absolutely.
We really saw a need of people trying to help people keep their Many people had to give their pets up. They were losing their jobs. They didn't offer any type of supplies at most of the food pantries. So Elliot kind of had the idea of, well, can we get them dog food? And kids
Very
are a
simple.
lot smarter. And they have a lot, like a lot less going on up, to make things sound very easy. So we started giving them dog food. But we would start donating dog and pet food. Elliot rounded up the troops of his school at the time, and one of his amazing teachers, Miss Baltimore, she wrangled up the kids. They packaged up dog food and cat food and pet supplies. And then we kind of branched off further from there where we were asking local vets, like, hey, can we do like a rabies vaccine in this neighborhood? Because there's a lot of these really, I hate to say struggling neighborhoods because, again, there's a lot of passion and pride in these neighborhoods. But in the Baltimore area, and so some of these older people, their pets were their lives, or just, I have pets, I mean, they're just our fur kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was just a way to help people hold on to their pets when they were in a situation where they were losing everything. They were already in a challenging situation. Throw COVID in the mix, loss of jobs. So it was just a way to kind of help people keep their animals in their lives. So Elliot kind of just came up with the concept of it. And now whenever we do our adoptive families through Mitch Bricks, Elliot's Arc, make sure all the families getting adopted or individuals, we adopt their pets as well too, so they have that opportunity too. So it's fun.
You tie them all together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And how does Sissy's closet fit into this puzzle you created?
Sailor is my youngest. She's my daughter. She, of course, has always been a little girl. She loves dresses. I love to say Sailor is the perfect combination of glitter and dirt because she's my little athlete. But she will wear,
I love it.
When she, tutus and cleats, kind of a thing. Sailor, we started to hear, we always have the need for clothing at the homeless shelters we work with. So we would always ask people for clothing and those types of things. And then Sailor kind of got the idea of, during Easter one year, little girl need dresses because she was asking me. We had Easter at kind of the shelter. She was asking me about dresses, and I started like, "Hey, ask people in our community." And it's always a call to the community, and it's amazing what people will do if they're asked, empowered with it. We got all these dresses donated, so all these little girls had dresses, and then through that, it just kind of became a little bit more of. We did a prom dress, homecoming thing every year. We partnered with a lot of bridal shops, which is really neat. Bridal shops that have sample dresses, they donate them. So we have all these beautiful gowns. It's just like a clever way to kind of go about mother of the bride. So we have we have a women's shelter that we dress all these mothers of the bride in these gorgeous gowns. But then we do, big coat drive every year. We do a big back to school campaign every year because a big piece of what we do is all about dignity. And, you may be having your worst day, but if you can dress up the gift that God gave you and kind of walk out the door and present yourself, you're one step ahead of yourself.
Makes you feel a lot better, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Incredible confidence that you instilled in your children. I love the story. And when you were sharing it at Our Lady of Mercy, it just made me think, why not bring Lauren on this year? That's amazing.
Thank you.
So when you first came into Our Lady of Mercy for the first time, what did you think? What do you think about Our Lady of Mercy and our mission?
Your campus is just, outside's gorgeous. It just feels like a very peaceful, retreat, like an oasis. It's just the way it's back and there's beautiful trees. It's beautiful on the outside. And you go on the inside. And I was, welcome with a smile. I think it was Susan at the front desk.
Yes.
She had no idea why I was there, and I was I knew I wasn't there to meet a Susan. So she made me feel so welcome, and her smile is just so genuine. But then the tour you gave me of your facility, it is top notch. So it just resonates with me so well. I used to work with an organization. I sat on a board for an organization where it was just similar things. Like you cover all the bases, all encompassing. And so much like the center of your campus should just be like a statue of dignity because, one thing leads to the other, from the clothing piece to the food pantry piece. the piece where people can go select the food that they want. They're not just given a box of, what they should have. And then all of the educational pieces to it, the empowerment. I mean, what you're helping these parents better themselves, and you're giving the children these opportunities to just have access to endless experiences and endless just resources. You know how excited I am. I know
I can tell a little bit, Lauren. Yes, please.
And then even that healthcare piece of it all.
Yes.
I mean, you close all the gaps, and you're also very open to, like when I've heard, I mentioned the Lego thing. You're like, okay, maybe we could have a Lego session, those types of things. So, it's just a very peaceful place where it's just very welcoming, and you feel the empowerment. I'm sure the people come and get the service that you all provide. Any idea or any questions, I just feel like you have the people on your team that would just be happy to answer it, and just using those people as resources as well. It's a special.
Need to bottle that answer up, Lauren, because I'm always out speaking to audiences about our mission and our work, and I always talk about this holistic and wraparound services. You bottled it up pretty well, and so I'm glad you had a chance to see our campus and experience the love that we have for our neighbors. Um, I feel you're a leader, Lauren, with what you've done with your children and community. What role do you feel, as I feel a leader, do you feel it takes for leaders to build strong communities?
I think leaders need to be extremely authentic. I think they need to have some vulnerabilities, but I also completely feel like they need to understand people's strengths and their weaknesses. Leaders, sometimes you think of a leader as being someone up here, someone who's ahead, but I feel a leader really needs to help the community and people around them, and pulling out and, finding what is something that anyone, any situation, being more of a beacon. I think leadership and leaders have been very skewed through society. I think there's a definite blur between leadership and power, and both of those titles and words have kind of turned into more so, I don't know, more so a negative feeling. Yeah. But I definitely think leadership is just it's almost like you kind of can facilitate people, the best part of a lot of people. I mean, my children have had these ideas, and I feel what a privilege it is for me to like kind of be, running the orchestra of life and service. I mean, it is been such a cool gift, just to be able to have them share ideas with me, and I get to be the grown up.
Yes.
Kind
And help them come alive.
I'm sure it happens, and also just getting people excited.
Yeah.
Collaboration with communities, collaboration, not competition. I think that's a big piece of leadership.
20 years from now, 30 years from now, what would you want maybe to feel rather than remember when it comes to Mitch Bricks and Elliot's art? And let's see, how would you want?
I'm going to steal something from my son, Elliot. So he was with us a lot, but one time Mitch couldn't be there for, it was a Lego session. And Elliot was about 9. So he's 12 now, but we were leaving, and he's my hands-on man. He's my worker bee. And we were leaving, and he packed up the Legos in the car. He's all amped up and everything. And he looked at me and he said, "Mom, I feel very good inside." He's like, "Is that okay?" These have to save this shelter, but I get to go home. And I feel really, really good. I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, it's great. Like, we'll do a lot of this stuff." And he said to me, he said, "Mom, this feels like Christmas."
Wow.
And like, that's
awesome.
If you know what Christmas feels like, and it's not about the gifts, it's about the celebration, bringing people together. It's about, using your simple gifts and just all good feeling around. So I hope that has a sense of a child's Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what I really hope. I hope it just empowers a lot of people and especially kids to get involved, find your passion, find your purpose. Purpose and passion are very, very powerful.
I think you led into my next question, Lauren, is for our audience. And if one of our audience or neighbors are in looking at this and saying, well, how do I start to make a difference? What's one actionable takeaway that you would want to leave for our audience of someone that may want to get involved or want to make a difference, but feel like they don't have anything to offer?
Experiment. We did one way. This is just a funny story. So for my 40th birthday, we did 40 acts of kindness, and it was a bunch of friends. So we all got in a big vehicle and we drove all through Baltimore and we came up with 40 acts of kindness. Everything from we brought flowers to senior citizens and nursing homes. We brought all of these quarters and change to a laundromat in kind of a really struggling neighborhood. So we had this huge list. So we made it a lot of fun. So just have fun with it and don't take it too seriously. And then whatever gives you that kind of Christmassy feeling in your
I
stomach.
love that.
But it's very simple. And if you have money to offer, donate your money. If you have time to offer, donate your time. A bag of clothing for a kid in need, it's, weather appropriate. The little simplest things help more than people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren, for joining us on Changemakers and Champion. I truly believe you are a champion in our community. We're excited to have you here with us, and I hope you continue to join us for our journey.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to working with your team and you more so. And thanks.